Like that, bro. Hey, buddy.
Bro.
So, where'd you get that gold chain?
That's kind of thick, man.
It's about to be live. Man, crazy. Welcome back, y'all. Episode 4. I got my family here with me. Dan, you know what I'm saying? Tony.
How you doing?
Yes, sir. I got Josh. I love y'all, man.
Yeah.
Love you too, bro.
So, we gonna get into it, man. Episode 4, intentional. Wow. Crazy. What's one thing that you would say that makes you proud of our family? Turnbos.
I just like how we always get together.
Yeah.
Cause you know some families be messed up out here, bro. And that's not to put nobody down or nothing like that, but we really love each other in real life. And you know, I think if you need the blueprint on how to be a family, you would probably look at ours.
Okay.
For sure.
That was good.
That was a really good answer.
I really do this.
That's good. Yeah.
All right.
Me and Josh don't got a handshake.
That is crazy.
You want me to answer?
Yeah.
Okay. No, we don't. But what I love about our family is that we can find happiness in any moment.
That's real.
That's simple, man.
How many times have we gone and had to bury one of our loved ones and then go to the repast and experience like real joy just being in each other's presence, even through grief?
Man.
That's a gift.
Yeah, it is.
That's a gift. I like that answer. That's a good answer. I would say one of my favorite things is, in addition to what they were talking about, the fact that we have very strong male presence. It's one of my favorite things. All of the men coming together, and we're very like connected and expressive to one another. We're not stoic. Like our uncles, they have all sorts of personalities that are relevant, and you know they fill the room when they come in the room. They are 6'5", 280 pounds. You know what I'm saying? But still, like their personality, you know, all of it, even the ones that passed. Like I'll never forget them. Shout out to the lady Turnbos though.
Yeah, you feel me? What kick started you into, I guess, becoming an artist, dance, musician? What got you on that road?
Well, it's different things. So for dance, it was actually this guy right here.
What?
Yeah. So he was. I say this in almost in every interview. Like he got me started. He used to bring these tapes home. He would sneak them in because we was only listening to gospel in the crib. So,
Oh my gosh, bro.
yeah, well, I'm about to snitch on you. It's all good. But we was
You know Dad about to watch this podcast.
Definitely was bumping gin wine while my
Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah, that's so anxious breakdown crazy.
Thanks.
Nah, he used to sneak the videos in. But he snuck one in particular. He snuck in My Way by Usher. So
Oh shoot.
you remember recording that? Yeah, he brought that in the house, and then there was a dude on there named Mr. Wiggles, and he was moonwalking on his knees. So after I saw that, I was like, dang, that's fire. And then ever since then, and I would see him and our mutual friend, who I consider a brother as well, Micah Cox, like they was dancing at the talent shows and stuff like that. And then Micah taught me my first popping combination, and then I just opened up the floodgates. And I was already spinning on my head because I had a big noggin. So,
Bro, he definitely used to spin on his big head, bro.
Yeah.
Who backflipped first? Him or you?
Me. It was definitely me.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was me.
Remember you did it at the concert? I had you do it at the concert.
Oh yeah, I was on
But
stage.
then before that, it was in the
already
locker room.
I was flipping in kindergarten.
Okay.
My first flip was like backflip on my head, and I used to do it that way.
Okay. There you go.
But
That makes sense.
which is crazy. But
You land
so
on your head.
there was that. Music wise,
Are you laughing? I thought that was somebody's phone, bro. I was like, somebody to turn their phone off. This boy over here wheezing.
I was trying to hold it in.
That's
hilarious. Because
hilarious.
this is a long answer. I don't want to keep it on.
Sorry.
But
He's gonna edit this.
But nah. Music wise, it was I can't remember exactly. Oh yeah, we was freestyling to the Wanksta beat by 50 Cent on a tape deck in elementary school. So that was my first time. They was like, just rhyme. And then I just did it, and I was like, dang, it's kind of fire. So then I was just writing raps every day. I stopped taking notes in class and everything. I was like, notes? Nah, I'm about to rap.
You know what I found? I actually found out that he was doing this from some kid that went to my church. I didn't even know he rapped. It was another kid, Gavin.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
that's crazy.
What? He's a rapper?
But yeah, and then everything else, DJing, that happened in the pandemic. But everything else just kind of just fell how it was.
Man, what's up, man?
Yeah, real hip hop baby.
Josh, what about you, man? What got you into football?
Honestly, bro, I really don't have no inspirational answer.
You good?
One of my baby pictures, the one that everybody sees, I had a football in my hand.
He was a lot browner too. He was like that complexion.
Bro.
Yo, this dude is crazy.
Bro, I'm gonna continue on.
My fault.
So honestly, and this is real. Like it sounds crazy, but I think God just made me a savage, bro. If I'm being real, I don't know. There wasn't nothing in me that it's like, oh, I want to do that. I just realized that I wanted to play football. That was it. And then once I started playing, bro, everybody knew me.
So cool story. I used to take him to his football practices as a little leaguer. When he first had the opportunity to get out there, we didn't have all the money we needed to get him started. So he was the only kid without equipment, but he was definitely out there on the field tackling kids without equipment on. Now somebody probably should have went to jail that day, but when I seen what he was doing, I was like, oh, I think we got something. Definitely told Dad, I was like, let's hurry this up because we got something special. This is a real story, bro. It was the Arlington Park Disciples.
Yeah.
It was a Christian organization.
That's what they were called?
Yes, the Arlington.
Snitching, right?
Yes. Hey, they don't. That organization probably don't even exist anymore. So shout out to them for letting them tackle with no equipment.
That was a great organization.
But he was right. He was a savage because I definitely where did that come from? We didn't teach him that.
They call him the Josh Turnbo.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, stop.
It was a random guy. And they said he's like, what's your name, man? He said Josh Turbo. He said, took his helmet off. He said, the Josh Turbo. It's a true story.
That's a bad man.
Nah, I wasn't like that, man. It was just, I don't know, man. I just didn't care, bro. I didn't care about my well-being and my body. And I wanted to inflict pain, man. That was it. That sounds crazy, bro, but if you see me play the game, bro, you would know that that's not a joke. You know, I wasn't scared. There was no fear in me. So,
what about you, man? What led to your purpose?
It's interesting because I think in our family there is a litany of, or a variety of gifts that we have in our family.
Yeah.
My dad didn't let me explore those gifts. They got a chance to play sports. They got a chance to do this, do that. My dad was very much focused on the fact that he knew I was going to preach the gospel. So I got a chance to dabble recreationally, but I didn't get a chance to really do it, you know. So when he's talking about dance, that was something I thought I was going to dance for a long time. That was something I could only do at school. Then when it was time for me to participate in it, at a higher level in school, I didn't get a chance to experience it. He's like, nah, you're not getting too involved in that, you know. And I thought it was him just being, I don't know, strict or whatever. But he knew that my purpose was to preach the gospel. And so I can say that even though I've danced professionally, I've made money doing it. I've made money being a choreographer. I've traveled and did it. Like it's fun, right? It's something. It's the way I met my wife, right?
Get that.
But I played an instrument. I played trumpet. From the time I was in the 5th grade all the way up until I was a senior in high school, and then had opportunities to play in little bands after high school and stuff like that. So in this family, there's like a lot of gifts. We're gifted at a lot of things. Like football's not the only thing he does, right? We'll probably get into that later. But I'm saying, really, it was God orchestrating. He was making sure that not only did he put it in me, but he gave me a father that had a long-term vision. Regardless of what this world can offer him to do, like, nah, he's got to stay on track. When I was a baby, I almost died.
Dang.
And he prayed a prayer, and they had me medicated and everything. And he prayed a prayer and told God, if I give him back to you, would you heal him? And that's what happened. I was supposed to grow up with seizures. I wasn't really supposed to live a long life. And I've never had any type of health problems since I was a baby.
Man, let me tell you something, bro. When my dad prays, bro, stuff comes true. His prayers come true, bro.
For sure.
I didn't believe it when I was younger, but I ain't had no choice as I got older. I'm like, bro, this man hitting every single time, bro. So
I was just about to ask, what was there an instance where any of you like knew God was real for yourself? A moment in time, like you knew, like, oh, God is real.
There's been a couple of times for me. I had to, I just literally ask, what I mean? And then sometimes the most recent situation was, I was fasting. I was going through a heartbreak. I think y'all was gonna laugh. I was going through a heartbreak.
I was about to put my hand on his chest.
But we weren't fully split up, but I was fasting and I was like, am I supposed to be with this woman? And then I said, if not, just reveal it to me. And then she ended up kidding me like she can't do it no more. So I was like, dang, that was it. I knew that was God. She tried to spin the block again, but I was like, my dad called me. I told him what happened. He was like, you got to listen to God, son. And I was like, all right, bet.
Since I've been little, Dad always told me that that I had favor on my life. And I never truly knew what that meant until I got older. And I sat back and realized I can't really give you the moment that it happened, but it just hit me like, bro, how do I keep getting out of these situations? Like, I be down, let's say financially, to my last dollar, to my last cent. But then, boom, something happened, and now I got money in the bank. Or, for instance, I thought I was going to have to drop out of school. I called my dad, called my mom, say, hey, yo, I don't think I'm going to be able to stay here. It costs too much. Dad was like, so let's pray. So I prayed about it with him. And then I think it was the next day or the next couple days, I went to go tell the person that was in charge of like students and whatnot, student housing. And I was like, his name was Jesse. Shout out to Jesse, man. That's he saved me. He don't even know it. But I said, I was about to ask him if I can have my own room for the last semester. It's like I was going to do a year and then leave. And I was like, hey, man, I was wondering if I could get my own room next semester. And he was like, oh, man, dude, you scared me. I'm like, what do you mean? So I thought you was about to tell me you wanted to leave. And I was thinking in my head, like, So we was talking, and he was like, man, how you feel about being an RA? And I was like, I don't even know what that is. And he was like, it's the dude that's in your hall that looks after y'all. So I'm like, what's that mean? Man, the only thing that I heard was you get free room and board. So right then and there, bro, like that saved me. So just things like that throughout my life. When I think when I hit 30 is when I really knew that it was real, that God was real. And then that the words of my mom and my dad, that the favor on my life is real. So
being young, just having encounters, I can't honestly say that like a lot of the questions that people have about God, I just didn't really struggle like for some reason, it just made sense. So even as a child, sitting in the sanctuary, hearing the adult preacher preach. I'm not in the children's ministry. I'm in the sanctuary, and he's preaching, and it just made sense to me. And I didn't struggle. I didn't wrestle with it.
Even as a kid?
As a child. I was very intrigued by the principles that were taught, straight from the script, not like motivational speeches. Like he was preaching the Bible from the KJV. And it just made sense to me, and I didn't wrestle with it like, I took the Bible for what it was, and I don't know why. I feel like the Lord invited me into encounters that essentially would prepare me to be on the other side of explaining who God is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like not just living a life where I'm just taking in information about God, and we're always learning. He's ever revealing, right? We've never fully conceptualized who God is. That's why we got to stay in the Word.
Exactly.
But like at some point as a leader, if he's shaped you for leadership, you got to get on the other side of being that person who can be a bridge, to truth. And I just, aside from that, just different experiences like my brother's, like the Lord walking me through situations where I was in need and I didn't have all the answers. I remember particularly a situation where my wife and I, we were divorced. We were divorced for a whole year. We were separated for a year and divorced for a whole year.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And at the time, we only had Abigail and Hannah. And I didn't have a job. I was broke, divorced.
They sure was.
What? Get your brother, bruh. This is the problem with having. This is the problem with having a big family.
My bad.
Hey, go on, man.
Bad.
Stay in your place.
That sentimental moment is destroyed.
So anyway, terrible situation. In short, oddly enough, my dad came to me and told me, "Oh my gosh, goodness gracious, you as the host."
All right.
Yeah. He over here red.
So even at that point in time, my dad came to me and was like, "Yo, this is what the Lord said, and this is what you're about to go through, but then this is what he's going to do for you." Part of it was you're about to go through a storm, and the storm you're going to go through is like crazy, but the Lord is going to cause you to soar above the clouds. So the storm, the bad things are definitely going to happen. It's going to be rough, but he's going to cause you to go above the storm, above the struggle, right? Where it won't affect you as if you were under it, right? And then he said, I see you in the days to come. People are going to be putting money in your hand every day. Now, I'm not like, I don't get into preaching about money and stuff like that, but God definitely has, if he in fact is our provider, he has something to say about our finances. Yes. And at the time, bro, I didn't have no money. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, God says you're going to have people, he's showing me that you're going to have people put money in your hand every day. And so it was wild. I was about to leave. He came back out. He was like, here, I'm going to give you the first seed. And he put $100 bill in my hand. So then we prayed. And we felt the power of God, the presence of God come in there so strong. And we were like on the floor. Both of us were on the floor in front of his front door. And we were praying. And that was a powerful moment. Powerful moment. Fast forward the tape. I think within 7 days, I got this job. And it was like almost every day, people were tipping me $50, $20, $100. It was the wildest thing, bro. I just was like, what am I going to do with the next? And the Lord just from there, he just took me on a journey of faith, man, and opened up a lot of doors. And I can't really say there was a genesis of when you knew God was real. As far as I can remember, the Lord has been showing himself to me. if that makes sense.
Yeah, that was great, man.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So, I know I said that, you know, my father always prayed for favor over my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever take that for granted. I want everybody to know that I do not take that for granted.
Yeah.
Like I always live in those moments. You know, I am fearful, but I'm deep down, I'm fearless. So that's why, like, I take the chances that people are scared to take.
Yeah.
You know, I think that, like I said earlier, bro, I'm a savage. Like, for real. Like, because that's how you got to go about some of these things. Like, a lot of the things are calculated. You know, like, God doesn't want it to just, he don't want me to run into a brick wall without my helmet. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, a lot of things are calculated. But, hey, man, like, I'm convinced that I don't want to live my life and get to 70 years old and then be like, man, you know what? I wish I would have did this.
Yeah.
I am not trying to be that old man.
Living in regret.
Living in regret, bro.
Yeah.
One of my biggest fears used to be, am I going to make it? Fear of failure. And once I got past that, now my biggest fear, if it is a fear, is God coming to me and saying, why didn't you do what I called you to do? Like that, like, or me getting to heaven and God saying that to me. Like, that would just crush.
For sure.
So that's why, that's why we're doing this. That's why I'm trying to change generations, all that. So I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna cut to career. How do you handle challenges in the workplace while staying true to your? Sorry,
snitch. Self-snitch. It's like, no, I'm just playing.
Challenges in the workplace while staying true to your values.
You know what, man? If I didn't, then I really feel like my music would suck. Like, I feel like it would be unauthentic. Everything. Like, I would just say whatever everybody else is saying, but I always keep my foundation laid out for everybody to see it. I love the Lord. I fast. I let people know. I still talk how I talk or whatever, but I don't never leave that out. And on top of that, like, you know, my mom and dad really beat it in us for real.
Yo,
they really beat it in us for real. So you can't like. It's kind of hard to kind of just be like, oh, God ain't here. You know what I mean? Until God just slap you in the face, and then, you know, just growing up in church. I think, like, people tell me all the time, they be like, what's the most scariest thing you've seen or whatever? And I'll be like, well, I done seen people get shot at. I done had a gun to me, but that's not even the scariest thing. But it's like the scariest thing was, to me, was watching a demon get casted out of somebody.
That's a fact, bro. You talking about at the church?
Yeah.
Is it? Bro, yeah.
I'm serious. I'm like,
I'm scared.
But yeah, like stuff like that, bro. I just, like, that stuff is scary. So I think that's, like, fearing God, that kind of keeps the purpose there. You know what I mean? It's like, do I want to mess around with these people out here that's doing whatever and compromising who they are for the sake of art or whatever it is? Or I'm going to have that demon in the back of my mind getting casted out. Like, that's going to be you. You keep messing around. So it's just stuff like that. But all in all, it's just, I really like who I am, and I love who I am, and I love who God made me. And I love who my parents and my family molded me to be. Like, I'm a product of my brothers. I'm a product of my parents, my grandmother, my grandfather, my grandmothers, my grandfather, cousins, all of that. So I want people to know, like, nah, this is what my family is about every time they see me. So, yeah.
You gotta mow it over.
Man, nah, I'm good. It's an interesting question for me because this year has been a tough year. So, like, one of the highest thing that I will not deal with is disrespect. So, I feel like I got that from my dad, bro. Honestly. I don't even know how. But if you knew me when I was a kid, I was a quiet kid. Like, in the home, around family and stuff, you know, I'm outgoing. But when I'm out there in the world, I'm kind of quiet, reserved. I don't say much. You know what I'm saying? People used to riff on me in elementary or middle school, and, you know, I just laugh it off. You know what I'm saying? Walk the other way, or if anybody mess with me, I'll walk the other way. But, like, in the last, I would say 3 years, the last 3 years, people really been pushing me, bro. Like, pushing my buttons.
Yeah.
Really pushing my buttons. And I remember I was having breakfast at Chick-fil-A with Dad. And I came out and told him like that. I'm like, I've been flipping out lately. And he was like, Joshua, like, you always been able to walk away. What's going on now? And I'm like, I don't know, man. It's just people keep taking me there. So this year, and to finish that, I think it's just the pot boiling over from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, people keep pushing me until I'll be falling off the ledge. You know what I'm saying? That's something I've been praying about, that I need to get under control. And I think I do have it under control because I've been separating myself from a lot of stuff. But within my career that I have, my business, like the flag world, people really been testing me, man. What people don't understand is that, first of all, my dad's name is Todd Turnbo Sr. And I'm from 25th and Joyce.
Okay.
The north side of Columbus.
You feel me? Talk crazy.
You know what I mean?
Like,
let them know, cuz.
When I was in the house, bruh, you know, my parents, they gave us an amazing foundation of love and happiness and everything like that. But we had to go out in the world, bro. And when we went out in the world, it was either eat or be eaten. So you had to adapt. So I am who I am. I went to Leonard McKinley High School. I had to survive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, don't play with me. You know, I'm sorry. This,
Yeah,
this
no,
ain't,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I know
this
is
hey, man, you gotta let them know.
this is an intentional podcast, you know, godly, but, you know, at the end of the day, don't play with me. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
a misconception because people think Christians are soft. Are supposed to be
No, for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
For sure.
Bro.
Yeah, for sure.
What?
For sure. So it's like,
They get it twisted at.
Lucky,
No,
I'm
for
scared
real,
to
bro.
fight now, for real. I ain't gonna hold
no,
you,
for
bro.
real. Listen,
If you hit your head and then you just get out, it's just like, bro, I really do this every day. So it's
man,
like,
listen, man,
Yeah, we hit the bag.
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
something that I'm proud of. I'm sure they're not proud of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something that I'm proud of, but it's still, I'm a human being at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So people, they've been pushing me, like, being disrespectful with words, being disrespectful with actions. Like, I don't even want to say it, but just the things that they do. Because I'm the type of person, and you can ask anybody around me, I'm going to do what I can to uplift you, especially if you're in my corner. Like, bro, if I got it, let's grow together. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's a product that I'm putting out, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing it with love. I'm doing it with my heart. Everything I got, I'm going to treat you fairly. Let's do this together.
Yeah.
And, you know, people have been just pressing those buttons, man. So, my village, man, because I don't want to disappoint them.
Yeah.
Period, point blank. Because I could care less about those people out in the world. But people been holding me up, you know, when I just want to melt to the ground and have that meltdown or whatever. They've been propping me up, holding me up, taking my foot, putting it into the next step of life. So if I do flip out, I'm going to let them down. And now I got a son, you know, so
Changes things.
it changed a lot. I got to move different.
iGreen Graphics offers an incredible range of services, including detailed illustrations, stunning graphic design, dynamic motion graphics, and engaging content creation. They specialize in logo design and branding, ensuring your business stands out. And if you need professional video and photography services, they've also got you covered. But that's not all. iGreen Graphics also excels in video editing and a new service offered, logo animation, which brings your brand to life with creativity and precision. To learn more and book their services, visit greengraphics.square.site. Don't forget to follow them on Instagram and subscribe to Intentional on YouTube for more info and inspiring stories.
So we're back. Handling challenges at the workplace while staying true to yourself.
I'll probably go a different angle on this one. So I'm in the financial space. And a lot of times we're in the public eye in the sense that people consult with us about how to grow their finances and things like that. Or if they want to get into space, how to make money.
Yeah.
So, there's this trend, in America, we want to get the bag, right? But as a minister of the gospel, I have to understand that I represent the Lord. I represent him and his church. So the Bible says the children of Issachar understood the times that they were in and what Israel ought to do, right? So they were often consulted about, what direction we were going to go. But it was based on how they understood the culture, right? So I know that there's a lot of influence and a notoriety, right, that I could potentially go for simply because I'm in a space that not very many people really understand, right? So I can use my influence to make money, to build my brand, right? There's this mystique around somebody who's able to generate wealth. You know what I'm saying? We're often in spaces where we're publicly speaking. A lot of people are giving us attention. If I really wanted to put pressure on that area, I could do that. But that would compromise what I actually stand for, right? So specifically, one of my jobs is to help set up legacies, financial legacies for people through life insurance, investments, and things like that, and retirement plans, stuff like that. So while other people may be focused on money, I have to focus on family. I have to focus on relationship and get people to understand that you can't really generate wealth or long-term success without putting or placing proper value on relationships that God has given you, right? So there is pressure to make money. I could do it at a high rate, and whatever, chase it the way everybody else is chasing it. But that would be at the expense of who I am as a person who's supposed to be representing Christ. So I have to keep the main thing and not worry about the result. Just know if I do my job as a serviceman, as a preacher, as a kingdom ambassador, as a father, as a husband, right? As a brother, as a cousin. If I do that, then my financial success will come. Does that make sense?
It does. Perfect sense. I know people are searching around different ways, getting scammed.
Yes.
I've been there plenty of times. Sorry.
Yeah.
We got him. He said, "Can you repeat that?"
Just say that one more time. And when you do that, I need you to look right into that camera right
there. Oh man. What advice would you give to someone who is struggling to find their calling, purpose?
Shoot, I can start with that.
Yeah.
I think my advice, man, would be, bro, it's not your life. It's God's will.
Yeah.
Bro, I fought my purpose for a long time, and then I finally was like, you know what? I'm tired of failing, and I'm tired of living how I'm living. So just tell me what to do. So I guess listen, and then once you get into it, really own it. You know what I'm saying? Like really walk into it and accept it. Yeah. And then you'll find peace in that. and you'll find purpose in that, if that makes sense. Because it's hard to do, bro. Like, it's a tough pill to swallow because I wanted to be in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it hurt me to come home and I have to hear people say over and over again, like, bro, you supposed to be the one to make it out. Man. You know? And, like, I don't think people understood the things that I sacrificed and, you know, like, staying up at Urbana for the summers and, like, bro, eating one meal a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I was willing to give up to get to the point that I wanted to get to. Yeah. But it just wasn't God's will, you know? So, now, like, when people say, like, oh, you ain't make it to the league, it's like, man, hey, bro, what you want me to do? Right. I did what I could. Could I have done some different things? I could have, but it was just like, bro, God ain't want that to happen, bro. And it might not have been for me, bro. It wasn't for me because it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have been living a crazy, wild life, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And God probably knew I couldn't handle that. And I might have failed, you know? Yeah. So, it's just to reel it back in. It's just accept, you know, what he has in store for you. First, you got to listen. You got to own it. And then walk in that purpose, man, and love it, man. You'll learn to love it because he knows what you really want on the inside. He knows what fulfills your heart, you know. And like for me, being a servant to the people in my community, like I'll be working crazy hours. I go to my regular job and do that, and then I'll come home and I'll be up till 3-4 in the morning, get a couple hours of sleep, you know. And then do it all over again. People like, bro, you like doing that? I'm like, bro, I don't know. I'm cool. Yeah. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Perfect. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
It really don't get no better than that, to be honest with you. And just not being afraid. Everybody has something in the back of their mind that they want to do. Yeah. You know? Like, the first time I saw somebody DJ, I was like, oh, I want to do that. And then the first opportunity that I got to do it, I just ran and did it. And I was like, this is pretty fun. And, you know, after that becomes, people tell you the first time you DJ, you go like, they be like, yeah, you just got to do the gig. You can't just, there's no right time to do it. Like, I'm waiting to get all my skills together and all of that. Like, nah, you just got to jump in the fire. And that's with anything, with rap battles, with jumping on stage. Playing football, anything. Bro, you just really just gotta do it.
When you don't jump in that moment that he talking about, bro, and then you go home, bro, you feel like the dumbest person, or you feel horrible. He said horrible. I felt like the dumbest person.
For real. Every trip, it never fails. Yeah. So I remember the first time one of the homies, he had me DJ an event, and I kept telling him, I was like, I don't know if I'm ready. He's like, bro, just do whatever. He just made it real comfortable for me to do it. And then they was like, bro, you did so good, bro. How long you been doing this? Like, this is my first gig. For real? Like, dang,
give me my money back.
Just imagine if I would have never took that, then like DJing pays a lot of bills for me now. Yeah. So I've met doctors and all types of different people and opened up for Talib Kweli to DJ and just different stuff like that. So it's like, if I didn't do that and jump in that fire, like you don't always gotta get burned every time you jump in the fire. Right. You feel me? It's just fire. You be like, oh, it's just hot in here for real. You just heat up.
Bro, you know that meme where it got the dog just sitting there in the fire and he like, oh, I'm fine.
Everything's fine. Drinking coffee in the middle of a fire. Bro, that's like my favorite meme, actually.
Bro, like for real though, it's like you learn to just take that, bro, on the chin, bro. And like people ask me all the time, bro, aren't you afraid to fail? And I'm like, no. I'm numb to it now. You know? Yeah. But you have to take those failures in order to get to that point. Because all successful people, bro, they fail a lot. You know what I'm saying? And there's just people out. That's why everybody's not great, because people are scared to fail, to look stupid, to, let people down, let themselves down. You know what I'm saying? So,
bro, this is hitting home for me because I was one of those people that was scared to fail. I can't do this. I can't do this podcast. I'm like, man, this is so much. There's so many podcasts out there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
And a lot of them fail after the first month or two. I'm like, man, it's...
Bro, you know what my dudes tell me, bro?
What's that?
Who cares? If you fail, who cares, bro?
Right.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, you're in your own head.
Yeah.
People still gonna love you.
Exactly,
Well,
bro.
the important people.
Yeah. And that just goes back to my biggest fear now is getting to heaven. Is like, why didn't you do what I asked you to do? Out of fear? Like, I didn't give you the spirit of fear.
Yeah.
That's what God's going to say.
Yeah, he said, fear not.
Mm-hmm.
Be of good courage, in fact.
That's right. That's right.
They say, I've heard the world say, everything you want is on the other side of fear. So if you're able to embrace that moment.
Yeah.
It's wild because my first time dancing on stage was with Micah.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody in the school knew. I was a junior in high school. And he pulled me out and was like, yo, I got to do this project. Just do it with me. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. And this project, because he was in the pre-professional dance program, I was not in that program. He was like, but I got to do this solo, but I want to do a duet. I want you to do it with me. And I was like, bro.
No,
I ain't
it is
never
if the
did.
homies ask you to do something, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
So he taught me
Okay.
some things,
Yeah.
and I got I got confident in the preparation. That's what most people, they get stuck. I've heard it said that preparation is not wasted time. That's what a preacher told me once.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm going to carry that with the rest of my
Type that
life.
in my notes. bro.
Preparation is not wasted time. So my confidence wasn't in my ability to show them that I could do what I could do. My confidence was in the fact that I prepared for this moment.
Yeah.
So this is the intentional podcast, right?
That's right.
You have to be intentional about everything that you believe God called you to do. You got to be intentional about that, right? So fast forward to tape, because that day that I stepped on that stage, it was live. Like, nobody knew I was a dancer. I came out, they're screaming, "Go Todd, go Todd." And it was like, whoa, what is this? I ain't never, what is that? All it did was propel me into believing that I could do something that God already gave me the ability to do. I needed to believe it.
Yeah.
And he gave me key relationships that would pour into that gift. That would help me, what does the Bible say? Stir up the gift that is within you.
That's right.
These people, these relationships came in my life strategically
This is crazy.
to come stir up my gift.
It's real.
My gift got stirred up to the point to where you fast forward to tape. I'm 16 years old when I do that. I meet my wife when I'm 22. That's how I met my wife. If I never started dancing, I never would have been in that church showing up to an audition that my mom asked me to do after I was graduated. I was about 5 years removed from graduation. I hadn't danced in like 4 years. Bro, I met my wife because I said yes that day. Come on, man.
Man, God is definitely intentional on who he puts in your life, bro.
Man.
Because, like, my boys, like, high school and physically in college are the sole reasons, well, other people as well, but we would go to the weight room, bro, and would challenge each other on a daily basis, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you ain't lifting today? Bro, you a bum.
Bum.
You a bum. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, that's all you want to put on there? Why you got them cookies on there, man? Take them cookies back there. Put some
Hey, that's
5-pounders on it.
what
You
Coach
know what I'm
McKinley
saying?
said. Coach
Bruh.
McKinley be like, man, that's a door stopper. You put that, you hold the door open with that.
But for real though, like I didn't realize until after the fact, after it was all said and done, you know, what was really going on with me and my boys in my camp. Like they really pushed me to beyond the limits that I knew I had. But I don't know if I would have went there, bro, if God didn't put them in my life.
Okay, so I was in a coaching program. I was one of the coaches when he was in high school. Short story, we was in the weight room one day, and he's telling the truth. They was talking crazy to each other in a competitive way.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, I can backflip. You can't backflip, bro. I've been backflipping since I was 7. I came out the womb backflipping.
Yeah.
So, and then the coach McKinley, the DB coach, he was like, yeah, you ain't no athlete unless you can backflip, bro.
Wow.
So one of the DBs went over to the wrestling mat that was rolled up against the wall, took a step on the wrestling mat. Ninja, Desi. Look like a ninja did a backflip. So then Dondre's like, I can backflip right now. Ah! Crazy kid, right? Josh was like, I can backflip. I was like, I've never seen him ever attempt anything like this. Ever.
Only on the dirty mattresses.
Bro, he did a back tuck. He did a back tuck because he wasn't going to allow the moment to pass for him to respond.
Wow. There it is.
You talking about give people a piece of advice, man, when destiny calls, respond.
For sure.
Respond, bro. The other side of that I want to share, that's a very practical way.
Yeah.
The spiritual way is I want to encourage the listener, the viewer, to understand that while in America it is very, there's a premium on becoming something, achieving something,
Yeah.
but there's nothing like understanding who you are in Christ. If you understand why he died, why he rose, why he sits on the right hand of the Father, why he's coming back again, what his destiny and purpose is for mankind. If you don't understand that, it's going to be hard for you to adequately serve, because really God has given us gifts so that we can serve our fellow man. Right? We're all supposed to be living for a greater cause.
Yes. For sure.
So him serving the community, him putting out good projects to inspire people to live outside of their conflicted thinking, their constricted thinking. Like, you can't adequately serve unless you understand who he is, why he did what he did. Then it gives you a premium on your own testimony and allows you to reflect, man, I was garbage. I was whack.
Bro, but that's the thing, though, is a lot of people who don't understand what he's talking about, they can't be honest with themselves, bro.
Yeah.
I think that's like an epidemic going on right
Because they'll live in a constant cycle of comparison to the next person. Or they'll always feel the pressure or the allure of the system or society or social media, right? The demands that this crazy world, specifically this country, is putting on, young, gifted, talented people, who are really called for great things. And you really got to understand who Christ is, man. If you do that, then you will find your identity. He will reveal to you who you are in him. Then the pressure is off. Oh, so I can do that, not because I'm strong enough, but because I'm available. Now he can do it through me. Now they ain't looking at me. I mean, I'm a vessel, but they're not looking at me. They looking at him. And I know he's not going to fail. He is the champion. You know what I'm saying? I just get the benefit. I get the partnership. I get to partner with the champ. Don't get me started here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what's, you got to know who Christ is, bro, first of all.
Oh,
That's
man.
good.
That is real good.
That's good. Even with piggybacking off of what they said about, he said that you have to learn why he died, and just being honest with yourself. Like, if you love something, or if God put something in you, like, if let's say you want to cook, you want to be a chef, then you have to learn how to do it. You can't just jump out there and get to this plateau and be like, all right, I'm ready to go to the big leagues. Like, when you really love something, like, you really got to be a nerd. You got to be like, nah, I'm about to study this every day.
Be intentional.
Yeah, it's just like when you, like, if you're a pastor, like, you have to read your word. You have to read your word regardless. But if you're a Christian, you got to read your word, and you have to pray. You have to do all of these things, and you can't just put it off. Like, nah, this is where you get your source from. This is where it happens at. Just like with whatever, let's say, like I said before, you want to be a chef. Like, you can't be like, oh, I can make mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I'm making mac and cheese everywhere. That's it.
Hey,
Like,
black people gonna show you that you wasn't created to make mac and cheese.
yeah, you feel me? So,
He's like, nah, that ain't it, G. Actually, they ain't gonna taste. They gonna look at it. Nah, that ain't it, G.
it's an auntie up the street that's really been going crazy for years.
She was created for this.
She gonna go crazy. Like, dang, I'm cooking mac and cheese all my life.
Yeah.
Why is her power level way too high? And she was a nerd. Like, she was barefoot.
She was locked in, bruh.
Yeah, man. She didn't even work out. She was just cooking.
With no apron, G.
Yeah, making everything.
Yeah, man.
Because all things work. That's just how it goes. That's how it goes. If you learn how to do a backflip, you're not a b-boy. You know what I mean? People think you go out there, you do an air chair, or you do an air flare. If you don't know no tops, they gonna smoke you out there. You don't know how to do top rock, no good bottoms, they gonna smoke you out there.
And the battle breakdancing battles and
For
stuff
sure.
like that.
They're gonna get
ciphers.
you out, they're gonna get you up out of there. There's somebody who's crazy at top rock, and all you know how to do is a windmill. He's gonna get you up out of here, and everybody's gonna see how stinky you are. So,
Bro, that we got time.
No, yeah.
Bro, it irritates me when football players. I'm gonna specifically talk about the younger generation when they say, "I'm him."
Oh man.
Oh my gosh,
man.
the him,
They say
the
"I'm
hymology.
him."
Go ahead, bro.
I think about like I said earlier, like the summers, the practices. Like he said, bro, you got to be a nerd at what you doing. You know what I'm saying? Like when they say "I'm him," and I just look at them and I know for a fact that I would have demolished them. If I was the same age as him, you know what I'm saying? Like
he's them.
No, bro. It's like you really. I'm gonna say you really got to be intentional on a daily basis, bro, in the moves that you're making to perfect your craft.
Yeah.
And like that's what me and my boys on that field was doing, bro. In the weight room, in the classroom, in the film room, like we was really perfecting our craft. And like that's what I feel like this generation, they just want to jump straight to being great.
Instant gratification.
Without really walking that path of the thunder and lightning, bro. Like y'all ain't never did 700 up downs on a 150 degree turf. Well, maybe not 150, but it was hot. You know, you can see the smoke coming out of the flame.
You said 80s enough. Bro. 80s enough.
When your feet so hot, bro, you like it's burning your feet, but you gotta go out there and practice.
Yeah.
If you don't, bro, give me that scholarship. You telling me you're not about to practice because your feet hurt? You know what I'm saying? Like it pains me and it angers me to see the youth really want to skip that step, bro. Because there's J. Cole, bro. You already know about it. Man, there's beauty in the struggle.
That's right. That's right.
It's beauty in the struggle, bro. Because on the other side, bro, like, I'm built for war, bro. I'm a gladiator. Like, I'm a modern day gladiator, bro.
You just watched that movie the other day.
I did. Go see
Gladiator is my favorite. Bro, one of my favorite movies, bro.
I was at the opening preview, sir.
Are you talking about the second one?
Yeah, number 2.
Okay, I haven't seen that one yet.
So, like, that's what I look to myself as. It's like a modern day gladiator, bro, because what we went through out there on that field, you know. So, it's just, that's my message to the young folk, man. Man, put the work in, bro. Please.
I was telling my homeboy, shout out to Sean Derrick, he had randomly hit me up and we was just talking about the journey. And this was his version, his phone call was his version of giving me flowers. You know, is that what they say? Give people your flowers while they're alive, so you don't have to do it when they're dead. But we hadn't talked in like 4 years, you know, and he's in the same camp with Micah. You remember Sean? He said not to call him that.
My fault.
He specifically said that when we was on the phone yesterday.
Edit that out.
Yeah.
They ain't hear
But I don't think they heard it. He's gonna crack up when he sees this though. But we was talking and we were just talking about the journey, just becoming doing things, accomplishing things, you know. And when you're artists, or you're building something or whatever, you know, there's a path.
Yeah.
And that comes to an expected end. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about how this generation, they just really race, to his point, for the optic of what it looks like to become something. Not realizing that there's a whole point in between, several points actually, from the start to when you actually achieve whatever it is you set out to do. They don't really have a premium on that. They don't understand. And he was like, I thought you were going to say it was about the journey. Like, yes, but what I'm saying is, like, it's actually the journey itself. It's not really the journey. To me, it's the fact that the journey is shaping you. Exactly. Right? So the immature, they are striving for what it looks like to be successful. The people who are actually locked in, they're caught up. They know eventually I have a vision. There's an end to this. Yeah. But the fact that I'm giving myself to a purpose, I know that I have to become something in order to achieve that. Mm-hmm. And God knows this before we do. That's right. And he understands, like, you have to go through certain processes that'll shape you and mold you and challenge you and sometimes restrict you. Right? Yeah. Until he's ready to set you loose, let you loose like a gladiator. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Can I add to that?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Because, like, I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm saying. Like, yes, there are people out there that are a savage, bro. And you may be able to skip them steps, bro, and be an absolute monster. But let's really think about the greatest people of all time. And, like, I'm going to say football. Mm-hmm. Like, how long did they play? For years, bro. It's because they didn't skip no steps. So, yeah, you got me right now, but guess what? My experience is going to catapult me right back in front of you, bro, because I'm going to strategize and I'm going to think of a way. All right, he got me. He going up top on me. How can I, you know, get better? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna think of a way to get back on top because I'm built to last, bro. Mm-hmm. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So
in Detroit we say built for it tough.
Built for it tough.
Built for it. Built for it. Shout out to being built for it tough.
You feel me?
We built for it.
Talk about family. What does leading, and me and Dan, we getting there. You know, we working on it. What does leading a Christian household mean to you all? I'll let you two start, and then I'll come back.
Man, honestly, you know, that's something I'm gonna say based off of what my dad and my mom, what I watched them do, bro. It's just knowing that you're not perfect, but striving to be, you know, who God intended you to be on a daily basis, bro, and being fearless. Yeah, that's it. Because the world has a lot to offer when it comes to things that have set you off track because of fear or what have you. You know what I'm saying? But just having faith in God that, you know, you're going to get through it. Yeah. And, you know, showing your kids, showing your spouse, whoever it may be, that's the way to do it.
Right.
It might sound like a cliche.
Yeah. It's all good.
It's the intentional podcast. You definitely have to be intentional with your spouse. I mean, I know it's God's design that you do this with, you know, mother, father, husband, wife, you know, child, children. And you definitely want to do it with intentionality. I know that even though healthy marriage, healthy family dynamic was displayed before me, you know, coming up, it didn't really mean that we were perfect. It just meant we had an example. People have a lot of examples. All of us have had teachers that were willing to demonstrate. Yeah. There's plenty of people that were in the same classroom as all of us that didn't go to the next level. Yeah. They didn't take the next level of higher learning. Even if they didn't graduate, there's people like myself. I got a GED, right? But I went and took my level of learning to the next level.
Yeah.
Right? I pursued several different higher levels of learning.
Yeah.
Right? But there are people who decided not to take that step. Right? So having the example in front of you is one thing, but being intentional about implementing what God is showing you through leadership in your family, in your community, whether it's a coach that's married, right? Somebody that you respect, a music teacher a dance instructor, a professor in your school, maybe a manager on your job, that you kind of see them, how they flow with their husband, their wife, their children. And you take those examples and you allow God to show you, what things to implement in your home. And then obviously it's through the word. I mean, God, the family dynamic, the family unit is that's his model. He made it. It's his invention, right? So much so that he's called us into his own family. Yeah. Right? So we understand that we are the family of God. We're not just in a church. We are the church. We are the body of Christ. Right? When we understand that, then we take that same precept, right, and we implement it into how does God relate to me? Yeah. How does he love me unconditionally? How does he love me? How does he love his bride, the church? How does he love me as his son unconditionally? That's how I should love my wife. That's how I should love my children. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that's my answer. I go.
Man, anything to add?
Man, I ain't got no kids, but
I was about to say, you got anything to add?
I got no kids. I do teach a lot of the youth, but one thing I will say is one, hey man, I don't think God is a deadbeat. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
That's
facts.
God ain't no deadbeat.
That's
so
right.
Facts.
like who you have around you, your students or whoever it is, your kids, they're gonna be watching that. So I don't hang around people who don't take care of their kids. All of my family members that I'm around all the time, they take care of their children, and I'm a part of that too. I gotta be an example as well. So that's like you got asked the question earlier. Actually, I'm not even about to get into that, but yeah, it's really the work never stops ever. Like you always have to be in kind of like a father figure mode or whatever it is. Until you're on a vacation or something like that, then you can be a kid or whatever. But yeah, like that's just really a part of it. And then he hit it right on the nose. The word. You feel me? You got to be deeply rooted in the word. That's really the main important part. Is teaching your kids the word. But essentially, it's just each one teach one. Each one teach one. So if you really call somebody your brother, that's like your friend or not really a family member by blood, then really check him and
hold him accountable.
Hold him accountable because my kids are watching you. You know what I mean? They look at you as an uncle now. They call you Uncle such and such, Uncle Man or whatever it is. So it's like who you keep in your village and how you are with yourself and how do you take accountability from others. That's something I struggled with for a little minute. Josh would tell me to do something and I would be like, you know what I mean? Because I was living with Josh for like 4 years as an adult. So
he about to peel off the scabs.
On the couch.
It's okay, Megan. It's like,
for real. For real. But like Josh has never like I've always watched Josh make nothing into something all the time. You know what I mean? That's like one of Josh's, from the outside looking in, that's one of Josh's strongest traits. Actually, that's Tony's strongest trait too. My brothers, I want to say all of my brothers, they never was like, oh dang, I'm so sad. Yeah. I can't do it no more. You know what I mean? They was always like, all right, how we gonna get out of this situation? Josh was doing that before he had a son.
Yeah. Facts.
You know
facts
I mean?
on facts.
And I can say that about Tony too, or Todd. Don't call him Tony, unless you family. But I can say that about him too. You feel me? So, but yeah, like I just just passing that down to the next generation, and God is included in that. God has never failed us, so we can't fail everybody that's under us. And the way that you not fail completely is being absolutely vulnerable and being able to lead in the right direction and being able to acknowledge when you didn't lead them in the right direction as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
there's been times where I've had to apologize to my kids because I was too quick to anger or frustration, or I spoke too soon. I definitely have had to apologize to my kids. Having daughters actually brought that into a reality for me. I didn't grow up with sisters. It was us and my other brother.
Shout out to Steve.
Shout out to Steve.
Steve.
Shmee! He gonna be salty.
Oh, dude.
Yo! That's funny. Nah, but having daughters actually put pressure on me to grow. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that if you're not around women, you can't grow. In fact, I told you, like, that's one of my favorite things about our family is that there's a strong male presence. But women, especially when you understand how they're built, God he's ordered us, demanded that we have patience. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Yeah. Honor your wives, right? Actually, there's a scripture in Peter that says, deal with her according to wisdom if you want your prayers to be heard. As a man, as a father, as a husband, you are trying to lead, right? You're trying to build something. You have to have the ability to see things from afar, right? You can't do that without God's help. He's saying, if you want my help, you got to honor your wife. You don't honor your wife, you're not going to be able to do the things that I can empower you to do. You've literally violated in the spirit something that I told you. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you, like you can't do this without very much an intentional vertical relationship. There has to be an exchange, not a transaction. That's different. A transaction is like, hey, I give you this, you give me that. No, a vertical exchange is I offer up reverence, worship, right? Yeah. Time, right? Intentionality, surrender, right? You download wisdom. I offer up honor, right? Yeah. You download courage. You download, skills, right? Wisdom on how to do it. And what will come of that during that process is that you'll have the ability to have foresight. Foresight. Shout out to Trig. But I was having this conversation the other day. Like, part of my reason why I am this intentional about my children is because not only do I understand the times that are upon us and the dynamics they're going to be dealing with, but they're going to be parents one day. So I'm really setting them up. Yeah. If I do a horrible job, they'll have to sift through the muck and the mire and pray and ask God for supernatural miracles just to do something basic for their own children. A good man sets an inheritance for his children's children. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. So you got to do that, and you can do that way before you even have children. By taking on the responsibility, knowing that there are fatherless children out there. The Bible says he's a father to the fatherless. Right. Through his sons, he fathers fatherless children. So when you don't even haven't yet produced seed of your own, you understand that they have purposes. God has plans for their lives. They're going to grow and become some type of influence. Will it be a godly one, or will they be a minion from hell? A YN. It's like, no, I'm just playing.
I'm sorry.
No, but you know what I'm saying? let's keep it real. Like, bro, like, I'm not afraid of nothing, but I am wise enough to know there's some stuff out there I just don't, like, I'd rather not encounter, right? But that's because somebody dropped the ball somewhere. That's why these cats out here doing what? Living reckless.
Yeah, there we go.
You know, and I'm not going to have some reckless branch in my tree. I'm not producing that type of fruit. I'm not doing none of that. God won't, when he comes to check my works, because he will for all of us, when he comes to check my works, I don't want him to have to burn it off.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about, honestly, when you said that. Like, me being a father didn't start when JR was born. It started, really, the seed was planted watching my dad.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't think about that till you was just talking.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everybody knows, like, hey, you know, you need to see your father, but, I don't know, it just hit me.
Yeah.
You know, like, the stuff that my dad was doing with us, I find myself doing. Unintentionally. It just happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dad was stern. That man could be mean, but he showed the greatest amount of love to us, bro. You know, in everything that he did. Just by playing with us or us getting whoopings. Like, whoop us.
A talk about what we did wrong for 4 hours straight.
Bruh, you'll get whooped, bruh. You'll get whooped, bruh, and then you got to go through that lecture afterwards. You got
to edit this part out. My dad gonna be like, "Why they over there talking about me, man?" Sir, you were in the military, okay? Like, you didn't play games.
Hey, these kids, they ain't getting whooped. That's why they still in them cars.
Yeah,
bro.
they get. Hey, if you got touched up, one of the things is we had an awareness of consequence, bro. There are good consequences and there are bad ones.
These young people don't understand consequences, bro. They don't care about them. They really don't care about them, bro. Because nobody's touched them, or let me clarify. Nobody.
Yo,
this
is a crazy time we're in, so you do have to clarify.
Right.
Go ahead. Yeah, I got it.
They have not gotten whoopings or, you know, hit in the chest or smack. You know what I'm saying? Upside the head.
Period.
Discipline.
Like
you know what I'm saying? So they don't understand the value of respect.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's
parents want to be friends with the kids.
Man,
what is that? Our dad told us early, he was like, "I'm not your friend, I'm your father."
right. Straight up.
So, but I never questioned whether he loved me. Now, there was times where I thought, like, do this Negro like me? You know what I'm saying? Love and like, they're not the same. Yeah, I love you, but stay over there. You know what I mean? Like I love my neighbor, but don't come across the street. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but I'm like, I never questioned whether or not he loved me because there was a healthy. Let me just put it in the right perspective. There was a consistent dose of correction, and a consistent dose of love, a consistent dose of correction, and a consistent dose of affection.
Man, beautifully.
If that makes sense. I remember my dad coming home after working 12 hours and playing chess with me.
Chinese checkers.
Bro, playing chess is not a short game. Scrabble. Like, giving us strategy games of strategy, things that would provoke our mind. But he's teaching us principle. We're having dialogue. He's basically shaping me into something, right? Yeah. But as a boy, I'm with my dad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, growing up, my funnest times on my birthday wasn't like cake and ice cream and stuff. It was actually spending time with my dad and them having to do my chores while I was gone with my dad.
You know, I ain't do those.
Yeah, this boy ain't get whooped until he was 15 years old. No, I'm just playing.
That's kind of late. That's kind of late.
No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Nah, but, you know, like, for real, though, like, having that leadership, you know, when you have people, especially men, let's be honest, like, this society does not appreciate, value, nor does it respect, you know, the manhood. and to the point to where they're trying to redefine what it is.
Black men,
especially black men.
Man, can I add to that, bro? I'm gonna add to that.
I open up the can.
No, there ain't no can. I'm closing it back. I just want to shout our mom out, bro, because she gets it.
She did not get in the way.
She gets it, bro.
She did not get in the way of this man trying to raise four. His motto was boys to men.
Straight up. And she would, I mean, shoot, mama spaz out too, for real. You don't want to get in mom's way. It might be a little worse.
Yeah.
But she, like you said, she got it, bro. And she fed us, everything that we needed, bro. And she also, her love and affection was, I would say, it was more in abundance than my dad's. You know what I'm saying? My dad's was straight to the point.
Yeah.
But my mom, like, she kind of leveled it out.
Yeah. She balanced it.
Yeah,
like,
bro,
that's
that two-parent household, bro. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
It was like yin and yang, so to speak. Like, right, great amount of, hey, you going to get this, I'm only saying it once, type stuff. Like, and then she came in with the, oh, honey, babe, you can do anything you put your mind to. She's like
She's
that.
the sweetest lady you'll ever meet in your entire life.
Yeah, so you touch my mom, I'm going to shoot you, bro.
But
She'll tell you to stop being, she'll tell you to stop being soft, too, though.
Yeah, she will, because she from the hood, bro. Mom is really from the hood, and she light skinned, so she pop off quick. Don't even get it twisted. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely a frontliner for sure.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Still to this day, even like doing marches in the community and all of that. Like she does that with the kids. She does a lot of community work. So she and she speaks life into everybody.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like actually, that's where we get it from. Building things.
Same.
Like her and my dad, they started like I didn't really understand what it was when I was a child, but when I became a man, I realized I'm not made for the traditional workspace. He didn't call me to job. He called me to work. To build something. Whatever you find your hands to do it with all your might. Well, I can only do it with all my might when I'm doing what you created me to do, not what somebody else is making me do. Come on, somebody.
Man.
And she's like, mom is like right there. And she like, yo, you want to do that? She like, all right, we're going to type up the business proposition. You trying to get funding? You want to start your LLC? Mom was IG before IG was IG, bro.
It's crazy.
Mom took me to all of the dance practices and all of that. Like it was her. She didn't want to, but she did.
Yeah, mom was at the game.
She paid for the stuff too.
Mom was at the game. Mom knows the value of a man.
Yes.
Bring it back to perspective. Like, she knows the position that she holds, and she's okay with stepping back. A lot of women these days don't want to step back, bro. They want to be in the forefront and be loud.
Boss babes, bad.
I'm not gonna go into that. But
whatever they
honestly, like, I see my mom and dad, them taking turns, you know what I'm saying? But in the end, she knows the value of a man, that a man, in her eyes and God's eyes, is what she tells me all the time, that they should lead the household. So she knew that my dad was doing all these things. It may look crazy from the outside, but I mean, look at how all four of us turned out. I think we're okay. Yeah, we're okay human beings.
Definitely not perfect, but I mean, I look at the state of my generation, or this coming generation. I'm like, man, I just be thanking God, bro. Like, I was actually driving up to Detroit this morning, and I was thinking to myself, I'm so glad none of my brothers have addictions. Man. My homeboy has to walk his sister through an addiction. And he doesn't even, his parents aren't around to carry that responsibility. And he's the youngest. She's the one with the family. He's got to, bro, I don't want to give too many details because I don't want to get back to him, but like, we had this conversation and my heart goes out to him, like the fact that he has to carry that responsibility, but it's a man that has to come in and do that. You're not going to see that on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care what this world is saying about men, like what this country is saying about men, specifically black men. Like, God has called us. He made us. He has the final say.
Like, y'all born for this or something. I don't know.
You just talking, bro.
And lastly, legacy. For y'all. What do you want your legacy to be and why? It's not
You know, that's something I think about almost every day.
Me too, bro.
So when I first started doing all of the things that I do, like I wanted to be the greatest of all time. Like I studied Michael Jackson heavy. Like I watched him. I watched a little clip of him write out everything that he wants to be, how he wants to rebrand himself away from being a part of Jackson 5 and all of that. I watched all of that, and I was like, dang, I get it. I understand it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
funny.
like now, just the older that I get, I'm realizing, and I've been saying this to people lately, right now I'm just making music for fun, for real. I mean, it's not just for fun. Of course, it's like at one point it was for like, you know, I just need to make this money and blah, blah, blah. But now I feel like I really have stuff I need to say. I done been through so much life, experiences with different people and experiences within myself, supernatural experiences, all of that. And I feel like people need to realize that these are real things, and it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to just not be okay, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like where you just be like sitting there like, oh man, I'm gonna just be sad my entire life. Like you can do something about it. You know what I mean? But I teach a lot of students. I teach a lot of the youth, boy and girl, and I really think my purpose and my legacy that I'm leaving behind is kind of just like my parents' is. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I feel like my parents was put on this earth to be the greatest parents in the world, to me and my brothers. You know, like, the things that they went through just to make sure that we could have something is just, like, and we had more than something. We had all of this up here. Common sense. I think we have the most common sense, you know, and that's why we're all good, and we didn't, like, there's been plenty of times where we could have been addicted to something. We could have been addicted. We could have been
incarcerated.
We could have been dead.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But we haven't even, like, all of my brothers, we haven't smoked. We've never smoked a day in our life. I'm probably the only one. Me and Steve, we drank before, but these two have never drank before. And I don't drink anymore. I went through a bad time where I did, but, you know, that's done. But I really feel like my legacy that I'm going to leave behind is the amount of people that I've put in position to be great.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, like, that's going to serve me more than me just being out there and just being alone. I'm a natural born leader. I can't help it. If I'm out there, then I got to make sure everybody is straight. But in order to be a leader, I have to be a great student first. And I'm still a student to this day. I call Todd or I call Josh, and I'll be like, yo, how do I do my taxes? Something simple, you know what I mean? Or I call Josh.
How do I wipe my butt? No, I'm just playing.
Simple stuff. But, you know, like, I want to be able to.
I'm sorry.
I find joy in doing that for the kids under me. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of my little cousin the other day, little Ty, he said he want to rap. And I was like, cool. I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna take you to the studio. I took him with my close homies, like the people who I make music with. I'm in a group chat with that I trust with my life as well. So I took him over there, and I was just putting him on game. I was like, this is the main thing to keep your music good and to just have some skin in the game and keep getting skin in the game is your character, bruh. It's 20% your talent. And then the other 80% is just not being a butthole.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So somebody told me that. But you want to make sure your talent is still at the 100% though.
Yeah.
Or at least getting closer to that 100%. But all of that comes with just, just being humble and keeping your head straight, but also knowing who you are. Me, I'm cocky. I can't help it.
This guy.
I can't help it. But at the same time, I put so many people in position that, like, I can talk how I talk, but I still talk about them the same way because they earn that. But yeah, all in all, long story short, I feel like my legacy is to teach and to lead people.
That's amazing, man.
Even if it's just with lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, even if my lyrics takes you to a place where you're supposed to be.
It's amazing, man.
I belive this.
I've been wanting to do that for 30 minutes,
Bruh, this is insane.
I've been wanting to do that for 30 minutes straight.
Why?
I don't know.
Nigga.
It look cold.
Help your cousin, man.
Man, go ahead,
We'll
man.
pray for him. But he's good.
You say he's a good guy.
He's a good.
What do I want my legacy to be?
Yep.
One that speaks to who God is. That's what I want my legacy to be. I want it to be one that speaks to who God is. When they look at the path of my life, I want them to see a constant thread of the presence of the Lord. Through healing, through deliverance, through rescue mission. There's been many times, I'm pretty sure you can attest to this, that you needed God to come and rescue you from situations, bro. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, right?
Everything.
Financially, sexually, like I want the Lord, I want people to be able to look in, I want my children to be able to look in and say, this dude really was like trying to reach for the sky, way up where he is, right? Like I want them to know that, so that at the end of the day, God will get the glory. I want him to be known, bro. That's it.
Shoot, man. I used to want to be the best football player on this earth, bro. That's what it was. But now it's just simply, bro, I want people to remember me, when my time is past, just to say that man helped me. That's it, bro. He treated me fairly. He never did me wrong. That's it.
Yeah.
That's simple, man. That's simple. I don't know if he was looking for a
No,
better answer, bro, but that's just where I'm at in life, like the glitz and glamour. Like I used to want to be out in the forefront.
Yeah.
Now I'm in the shadows, bro. But I want the work to speak for itself, though.
Now we know who you really. You thought the darkness was your ally. I was born in the dark, molded by it.
I do want to say.
Dane. That's his middle name. Dane.
I do want to say, man, I appreciate every single one of you guys for being vulnerable on this show, man. This is never been seen before, man. This is some of this stuff almost made me tear up a little bit, man. But this was great, man. So, man, appreciate you.
Love you, cuz.
Love you too, dog. Jay. Yes, sir. This has been Intentional. Episode 4. Man.
Oh, episode 4?
Hey.
Wow, hey.
I was throwing up the 4 when you said it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Till next time, y'all.
Hey, 4 is the creator number of God, so expect creative things.
Hey. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. This is definitely
Also,
one of those episodes.
4 is the only number to have its own value. So it's 4 letters in the number 4.
Oh.
Also, 4. No.
All right.
It is 4.
Cut.
It is 4.
I ain't had nothing, bro.
That's cool. I ain't had
You said
nothing.
what?
It's 4 of us here.
That is.